Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is about Su Jue's Esper guide. So when I post this video, I think most of you guys already have your at least one copy of Su Jue. If you haven't get your Su Jue yet, I will wish you good luck. Alright, so I think when you hit the APAP release, you should maybe have lucky enough to get your first Su Jue, right? So let's take a look how you're gonna build her. Alright, so simplified kit, S1 is gonna deal 1 enemy damage, and then speed increase the S1 damage. Then if the enemy have puppet art, then it absorb 30% of the AP, right? Then for S2 is an AoE damage, it hit 3 times, and then each speed grants extra damage. Then you have a chance to inflict defend down, and then you deal extra damage to the enemy who have puppet art. Then for S3, it deals damage to 1 enemy, each speed increase extra damage as well. So you can see all her kit is surrounding around speed, so every speed will increase her damage higher. Then the S3 here also dispel all buff from the enemy. This is only for the enemy that you target. And then you also inflict puppet art. This is the main way to inflict the puppet art. And if you fail to apply the puppet art, you'll reset this skill. So for example, if the enemy have immunity, or the enemy is not able to apply puppet art, then your S3 will keep on refreshing until you actually apply the puppet art. Okay, then she is an Inferno Fighter. Then she have a speed leader 35% for most of the PvE content. Alright, so you can see here there's a very long text here. This is the passive. I even say like, why is it so long? I can't even fit into my infographic here. So let's take a look at the puppet art first. So for the puppet art here, you're gonna reduce the resistance of the enemy by 100%, miss rate by 100% when they are taking hit. So which means your hit against the enemy who have puppet art, you won't miss. You always hit the enemy, so you have an easier time to apply the debuff on the enemy. But keep note, the resist here minus 100% doesn't mean that you're gonna 100% apply your debuff to the enemy, because there's always a 20% resistance that is fixed that it cannot be reduced. So you can just take it as a bonus reduce. Alright, then damage taken plus 20%. Then if they take when they start their turn, they're gonna get a taunt. So this taunt cannot be dispelled unless they dispel the puppet art, because when they take their turn, when they have puppet art, then they're gonna get taunt. Right, then for the funeral rites is damage plus 5% per stack, and you have a total of 9 stacks, which means 45% increase. And if an ally attack, each stack grants extra true damage. So this true damage is based on her attack as well. Then trigger once per turn and per target. So if you deal AoE damage, then everyone is gonna get the funeral rites damage 1 time. Right, then for the passive here, technically you're just gonna get 9 stack of funeral right at the start of combat, and if anyone die, you postpone their death. Alright, then for here is when the target enemy have puppet art, they attack you, then you're gonna deal some counter damage attack to them, and then you are immune to ability effect inflicted by enemy with puppet art. Alright, so there's a very long text here. I think there's nothing else I can simplify it, because it's like everything is very important here, so I just put it all here. But basically this is how it's gonna work, right? Then for the equipment suggestion, so personally I think the best in slot equipment will be Wind Set, because her damage skills with speed, and the fact you want her to cast her S3 fast, because everything here surround with puppet art, right? The S1 surround with puppet art, your S2 surround with puppet art, so your S3 is very important to inflict this puppet art. So I think making her fast to inflict the puppet art first is very important, unless you are a R6 Su Jue, because R6 Su Jue, when you die, you're gonna revive, and then you take a turn instantly. Then you don't have to build her fast. You just need her to die instantly, and then you can apply the puppet art to the enemy. So most of the cases we are not R6, we're gonna be R0, or maybe if we are lucky, maybe R2 or maybe R4. So I would say Wind Set is the best in slot, because you want her to be fast, and then make sure you build her at this DPS as well. Right, then for Thunder Set is also one of the good set as well, because but it's more towards the R6, because R6 doesn't require a lot of speed now. And if you want to be a glass cannon Su Jue, you want Su Jue to actually one shot the enemy, Thunder Set will be the best slot. Alright, so if you watch my previous video, because I'll post the R6 Su Jue first. So if you watch my previous video, you will notice that the showcase user is actually building her with Thunder Set, and the Thunder Set actually one-shot a certain enemy, right? So Thunder set will be a good choice as well, but personally I still go forward to Wind set. Then for Frozen set is also a very good idea, because if you want to make your Su Jue tanky, if you're trying to build a tanky Su Jue build, then Frost set will actually annoy them because they won't attack Su Jue first. They will attack Su Jue first because they will try to not attack her teammate, because when you attack the teammate, then Su Jue will postpone their death and then let them have a bonus turn to damage you first before they die. So if the enemy is going to focus target on your Su Jue more often, then maybe you want Frost set on her, then it will be a very annoying build to the enemy. Right, then for the 2 set here, I'll recommend Fiery set. If you can't really get a good crit rate stats, then Fiery set is the go. But I would say the best in slot set will be Artiar, because you can cast your S1 more often. And not to mention, if the enemy have puppet art, you're gonna absorb 30% of the AP, so your Su Jue will go even faster. Then the other one, I will recommend Shield set, because your Su Jue most probably you're gonna get target a lot, right? They will try to kill your Su Jue first, so Shield set, which can reduce the damage taken, will highly increase her survival rate, right? So this is the equipment suggestion I will go for the Su Jue's build. Then the stats to focus, what stats should you focus on? I will recommend speed, which is the most important stats for Su Jue, I would say. Then crit rate is as important as crit damage, because you want your crit rate to be high. It is not necessary to be 100% for Su Jue cases. You can build her like 70 to 80% will be fine, and then you also want high crit damage for her DPS. Then attack stat will be slightly more important than HP than defense because of the funeral rite. Then HP value is the same value as the defense, because you just want her to survive, right? And keep note, having some accuracy is good, because her S3 dispel gonna need some accuracy, and then the defense break from the S2 here also gonna need some accuracy. You don't have to worry about the puppet art not going to apply, because the puppet art is a silver rim debuff. Silver rim debuff means that no matter how it's gonna be 100% apply, unless they are on immunity or they have some certain passive like height, they're not able to get the puppet art. Right, so Su Jue is a fighter that can skills with speed, and she gonna need her to apply. You cast her S3 to apply the puppet art on an enemy to max out her damage. Without the puppet art and with the puppet art, is a different situation and a different experience. Like if the enemy is on puppet art, you will see the whole battle is a totally different experience. So you want Su Jue to apply the puppet art as fast as possible. Then for the resonance, R2 effect is to cast S3 on the enemy who kill her ally. That's why they will try to kill Su Jue first instead of her teammate, because if you kill her teammate, Su Jue will postpone their death, and then Su Jue casts S3 on the attacker when she's R2. And R2 is actually doable for most of the player out there. If you're lucky, you can get R2. Even though you can't get at R2, you can use the Ripple Box or the Club Sticker to get her to R2. So in that case, you will see most of the player who is playing PvP, they will try to kill your Su Jue first, because you don't want Su Jue to cast S3 on your DPS. Then for R4, when Su Jue's ally dies, her crit rate increased by 40%. Oh, I saw a typo here. Okay, then for R0, I would rate her strong. For R2, I would rate her even stronger because of the S3 casting. Then R6, I would say she's definitely become a meta, definitely become very OP. Why? Because R6 S3 can now inflict puppet art on all enemy. So this S3 here is gonna do dispel on one enemy, then inflict puppet art for one enemy, but R6 is gonna apply puppet art on everyone. So if they have not on immunity, everyone is gonna get the puppet art. And then she can also consume three funeral rites stack to dispel all her debuff, recover HP to 100% and get a bonus turn. Technically, it makes Su Jue become a Anna 2.0. Alright, so that's all for the video here. This is how to build your Su Jue. So feel free to comment down how do you think about Su Jue, how is she going to build, how are you going to build your Su Jue, and what resonance are you going to get on her. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for all the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Jan MP, thanks for the support. And for the supporter or Patreon of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Acne, Gemini, Code Wardeners, Molcult Regulant, Ziggy, Wang Tamer, Karma Rookie, and Sunwaltz. Thank you so much for the support. And special thanks to Louis Schneider and Acne for the 2-month track of the support. So hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.